Hi, I'm John and welcome back to my Lair of Action Figures, where I'll be talking and reviewing action figures from different manufacturers. Today, continuing with our line of G.I. Joe Classified series, we're going on to our friend Road Pig. So here's number 135 in the line of the G.I. Joe Classified series. Of course, the original version didn't come with a dog, but we will be talking about that a bit more in the history of this figure. As you can see, the box does come with a lot of stuff, so this is why it's a more deluxe box. So this box goes for €44.99 in the US and €54.99 in Europe. But again, you're getting a lot of stuff with this figure. So of course, this figure is from 2024. And what more can we say about it before we jump into it? As you can see, there's some really tons of gear that are with this figure. So without further ado, let's jump into the history of this figure. What are my thoughts? Do I think this is a collectible item? And my final thoughts about all of this. Now, talking of history about this figure, sadly I was unable to locate the Road Pig. So you're going to be seeing the Road Pig from 3D Geo that I have used. It will be in the right side corner. As you can see, he comes with a plate, a protection plate over. He has also this crossbow on his arm. He does have the cylinder block with the mace system. He does come pretty well geared up, and this figure was really huge. If you take the comic books, you would see that this guy is even more enormous. I mean, he is bigger than life. I mean, this guy must be like 2 meters 30. He looks so enormous in the comic books. So sadly, this is something that is not totally reproduced with this figure. But anyway, we will be diving in more into this. Of course, they did a 25th anniversary, but the same thing with that. I haven't managed to locate those figures. I'll be taking some pictures of them when I will be getting to it. It was more of a box set. Who was a BBBS Toys, so a big bag toy store, who had an exclusive set with all the Dreadnoks, and of course, Road Pig was with it for the 25th anniversary line. Anyway, now that we have talked about this, let's have a look what we get in the box. Let's talk about value. And also, what do I think about this figure? Now, this figure is huge and massive. So, of course, we have the figure. We also have a shield. We have this cylinder block with, of course, as a hammer. And we have a mask, kind of a biker helmet over here. We're having a closer look at this. We have an extra head sculpt with an expression on it. We have also an extra expression head for the dog. Rawkus, and we have, of course, the dog. We don't need to go into much detail, saying that Hasbro, when they come out with some pets like this, they really do some great job. So he has a meat hook over there, pretty massive. Then he has also a different hammer over here. Of course, we get the glove hands over here for punching, and we get some kind of mask, like to give him a bit of a wild boar look with the teeth, but we'll be having a closer look at it. As you can see, we are getting really a lot of stuff with this figure. So let's have a closer look at the figure. As you can see, he is enormous. He is really huge. So they didn't go into a more muscular version of him, because when you see him in the comic book, he's got the six-pack. Here we went into this kind of more the strongman competition, you know, Eddie Hall, or if you watch Game of Thrones, you will know also the Mountain. So this is more what I see about it. There's so much detail going on. He's got tattoos on his arm. Of course, he has the anarchy symbol over there. It was already on the original figure. You have some extra tattoos. I mean, this figure has really a lot of details. I like the fact that he has a little sacoche on the side so that he can put his arrows for his crossbow. He has some more over there. The fact that they give him a bit of an extra armor with a skull. I mean, this looks a bit like Mad Max. The head sculpt itself is pretty interesting also. If we look at the figure itself, here you can really see the head sculpt, but I mean, yeah, they really went into going into really upgrading this figure, and I think Hasbro really did a great job on it. Of course, would I have preferred to have a guy with the 6-packs, something looking more like what we got in the comics or back in 1988 with this figure? Yes, but this figure, as a modern version of Road Pig, works perfectly. Now, of course, we're going to dive in the fists. Of course, the fists are pretty huge due to the fact that he has huge arms. And here we have, of course, the shield. Now, the shield, you're going to recognize it. This shield was the one who was already given with, what's his name? Shockwave. So, of course, it's again a reuse. Do I see a use for this with this figure? Not really. I have the impression that it used it to load up the box. So, of course, we're going to go into the new stuff who comes with him. So, of course, we have this kind of hammer who reminds me a bit the hammer that was in the Conan movie. Of course, it then had the head sculpt of a pig over here, or a wild pig, because you can really see the teeth over here. This doesn't look like a regular pig, so you can really see that they really went into some kind of meat grinding over here kind of effect of it. So yeah, this is pretty massive as a weapon. Then of course the meat hook is pretty impressive also. The weathering on it is pretty neat. It doesn't look that weathered, but it does give a really great look on the way that it's been done. Of course, we have his mask, and we'll be putting this on and doing some testing. Then we have this kind of weird kind of wild pig also, a helmet, yeah, skins. I guess this must be skins from it also. And we got this kind of helmet who looks like those helmets for the people who ride Harley Davidson, who's a bit of an inspired from the German helmets from World War II. So yeah, this is something a bit weird to go with it, but hey, we're in 2024, so I mean, why not try to modernize and give it a better look? But this, for me, looks like something who came out straight away from Mad Max. Now, of course, we're going to be looking at the extra head sculpts we got. So, of course, we got a more expressive head for Road Pig. So that looks pretty neat. As you can see, there's a lot of detail who went into it. I mean, Hasbro has done a really fantastic job in giving us some great head sculpts. Of course, we have the mean dog over here, so he also has a scar over here. So I guess he must have been doing some fighting. Anyway, let's go into the cylinder block. I mean, this looks pretty neat. I mean, even with a bit of damage, it really looks pretty impressive as a hammer, as you can see. So yeah, really neat. And we're going to finish by his four-legged friend over here. So of course the color, I think this is, we have already seen it with Junkyard. So again, reuse of certain parts, and I'm sure that this is the same part of the body. I'm not going to go and check, but I guess this is exactly what we got with our friend Junkyard body, but they decided to go with a more her face. He looks a bit like more like a Rottweiler, not a Rottweiler, a pit bull. So I mean, again, Hasbro, when you're doing animals, you're doing a really great job. There's a lot of movement that can be done with the figure, and of course, this is really something neat. It was not needed, but it's a nice accessory having it, and it would make sense that these Dreadnoks would have some kind of hound and would be into dogfighting and all stuff who is illegal. So really great job that you did with this figure. Now let's dive into the collectible value of this figure. What are my thoughts about this figure? So let's have a look. So, talking about the value of this figure, for now it's a bit too early to say, but I haven't seen this figure go in clearance. So, of course, this is something that is something that could be interesting. If some people will want to pick it up in clearance, I think it could be a good idea if you're a fan of the Dreadnoks, of course. Here, it's a bit harder to clip because there's a lot of stuff going on over here. So I put it in slightly like this. As you can see, this kind of gives a really weird vibe to it. I'm not really a fan of it, but hey, it is something. They tried something new, and I'm not going to blame Hasbro for trying something new on this figure. But anyway, let's go back into the collectible value of this figure. I do think that it does have some value. I know that it's a more modern version of the figure, so we cannot really talk about it right now due to the fact that it's a 2024 and we're at the beginning of 2025. So of course it would make sense to talk a bit at a later date. But let's be honest over here, if we're going on a figure like this, there's no way that the Retroline figure will have so much accessories to go with it. So it is better to pick up this version over here than go into a version with the retro or waiting. Or maybe you're not a fan of the new look and you're waiting to get more of a retro vibe to this figure, then you may want to pick it up. But I strongly think that it would be a bit of a shame knowing that we're going to get a lot of Dreadnoks and a lot of stuff coming around this year for the Dreadnoks with the Cold Stilter group. So, I mean, yeah, this looks a bit better than this weird mask that you have over here, but it works pretty neat also. Anyway, so talking about our collectible item, yeah, I think it's worth picking up this set. This set is going to be something that you will need, and of course the Dreadnoks have always been given a lot of love by Hasbro, and a lot of people are great fans of these guys over here. So yeah, pick him up while you can. If you can get him on promotion, that could be nice, but I don't remember seeing him go on for promotion, so that means the sales must be pretty good for this figure. So yeah, I would definitely pick him up and not sit on it and wait for the retro figure to come out. Like I said, except if you don't like this vibe of the way he's built, but I'm not convinced that they're going to do much changes to him in the retro version of him. So now that we got away the collectible value of it, what are my final thoughts? Well, for 2024 version of Road Pig, I think they really nailed it. I think they really went in a lot on the tattoos. They maybe overdid it a bit, but let's be honest, these guys are tattoos. These guys are punks. I mean, it's logic that they're going to have so many tattoos. I like the fact that they built him up as a more one of the strongest men in the world. Built of the figure. I really think they did a fantastic job on this figure. So for me, I can see some of the accessories that were given with the figure, like the shield doesn't make much sense. Why would he have a shield to go around? It doesn't make any sense at all. The meat hook is an interesting add. Yeah, I think they should have removed this, maybe give something else on it, but yeah, overall I really think they did a fantastic job on this figure, and that's the reason I'm going to give this figure a 9 out of 10. And really, really worth it, and it's a fantastic figure. So that's going to be it for the review of Dreadnok Road Pig and his dog Rawkus. If you like this kind of review, please leave a like, share, comment in the section, subscribe to the channel, that helps out a lot. If you have any questions or any suggestions, you can write them in the comment section. Go and check out my Facebook page where I do pictures, talk about news. You can also go and check out my Instagram page where I post also pictures. So then you can go and have a look at some of the cool pictures I do. There's some archives, so if you want to go and have a look at all of that, I will be posting the pictures of my Road Pig mint in box and other items over there, so that can help you have a look at it. Until then, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!